Okay, so today we'll be deciding my March TBR using a shot roulette wheel. Just a disclaimer, there will be no actual shots because I went out last weekend and swore I would never drink again. And whilst I don't think that will last, it still applies right now. So the premise of shot roulette is you spin the wheel and whichever number it lands on, there will be a little attachment inside the shot glass. You know what? I'm going to show you. Okay, so my phone is very much handheld right now. And I am going to show you my little baggie filled with all sorts of things. I'm going to be taking one out. I'm going to be putting them each into a shot glass, one each. There are 50 in here, so they won't all get used. There's 16, and I am going to pick out I haven't really thought how many I'll pick out. Typically I do 6 books, but I could try and stretch myself to 8. That way it's half. Ooh, if I stretch myself to 8, I'm going to have to do some serious planning on how I read. Maybe I'll do 2 short books. It all depends on what the categories allow for. So, I am going to show you me putting them in so you know that there is no bias. Okay, So I am not at all trying to hide the fact that I have a very messy desk at the moment. So I'll be picking 16 out of this little baggie and popping them in. Just a side note while I've done all of the reds. Once I have completed this, pick one out, read it, little baggie's done, I will place it to the side, pop a new one in, and then put it back in the box. So any of these could come out. Chances are they won't come out more than once. For a while, anyway. But we never know how it's going to go. Also, I have to just point out, the 0 is not on any of these shot glasses. As you will see, each shot glass has a number. That is a very messy shot glass. I've just washed that. There's 20 and 17. Each shot glass does correspond to a number, but 0 does not have one. So 0 will mean if I land on it, I have to scrap everything I've done and start again. Okay, continue. And that is done. So the goal is I'm going to pick 8 out, and hopefully I have some wiggle room to put some shorter books in there. That way I know I can definitely get the 8. I do also have a buddy read coming up in March. I will tell you more about that once it pops up. If it doesn't pop up in this game, then I'm going to have to add it on at the end. I also have another event planned. March is going to be a very busy month for me. So, hopefully I get a lot of short books in. So, we will see. And now it's time to spin. So, just a little side note before we start. The blacks are on one side, the reds are on the other. Originally, they're meant to be alternate. But I decided it has no impact where the shot glasses are on the game, and I decided should I end up with a black number, it'd be easier just for me to check one side out than it would for me to do the others. Also, I have to point out, this desk is really messy. I have no idea how I'm actually going to do this because I need 2 hands, but we shall see. So, oh! We'll start again. I just dropped. But you see how that works. So, spin that way, throw that way. Red 5. Okay, so red 5, I need to find it. Which one? 32 and 7. I'm just going to pause this bit. Okay, so I have red 5. You will see it there. So, let's see what the category is. Not scared at all. Right. A to Z. So basically, A to Z means I will put it in my phone generator, pick a random letter out, and then whichever letter is randomly selected, I have to pick a book and read it by the letter. So for example, if the random letter was G, goldfinch. Things like the don't count, or a don't count. G, for example, would be the goldfinch. So let's see what book I get. Okay, so random letter generator, number of letters, 26. There are 26, aren't there? Yes, there are. Choose language, capital letters, lowercase. Oh, God, no, just put it in capital. Right, generate random letter. That's not how I wanted it. Okay, I'm going to press it again, and whichever one is the first number at the top, for example, where N is now, that's where we're going to be. I. Quick drink. Side note on this mug, I made this. Okay, so I got the letter I for my A to Z category, and I decided to go with I See You by Claire McIntosh. I got it from a charity shop, apparently. Now this is, I've had this for quite a while, and I don't really know what it's about, so I'm gonna have a quick read and then I'll let you know. Okay, so from the back, it seems as though it's about a young woman who finds a picture of herself in the classified section of a newspaper. It's set in London, so it's a British book. I love a British book, providing they're done well. And she doesn't know why she's in it. And it's very confusing. She takes it all home to her family and have a look, and they all say, oh, it's probably just someone who looks like you. Let's face it, it won't be, will it? And there's just an image of her, a website address, and a phone number. And then the next day, the advert shows up again with the photo of another woman. And then the next day, of another woman. And it says, is it a mistake, a coincidence, or is someone keeping track of every move they make? Now this sounds really exciting. Now, I've wanted to read it for a while, but I've never really got around to it. It is written by the author of I Let You Go, and I'm sure I've read I Let You Go, and I really like that book. So, I'm very excited to read this. Okay, so now it is time for spin 2 of 8. Red 25. Okay, so red 25 is this one. Ooh, I'm really scared to see what's inside. An LGBTQ book. Ooh, interesting. I'm excited. Now let's see what I'm going to choose. Okay, I don't actually own, as far as I'm aware, I haven't really had a look. I don't actually own many LGBTQ books, so I had a quick look on BorrowBox to see if I could get any ebooks, and I found one, and I don't really know. It looks awful. It looks awful, but I decided to give it a go because, quite honestly, I would never pick it up, and I feel as though this is the perfect time to pick it up. And the book itself doesn't seem awful, but it's the title, guys. It is the title. The title is Daddy Needs a Date. Daddy Needs a Date. Okay. I don't know why I find that so funny. It just sounds so cheesy and so awful, and I have a feeling I'm gonna love it. Now, that is written by a guy called Shawn Michael. Never heard of him. Don't know much about him. We will see why if the quality of the book is not good. I'm very excited to read this book just because of how awful I'm expecting it to be. I'm very excited. Daddy Needs a Date. How could I pass that up? And that is about a man with 4 children. He has one of his own, and then he adopted 3 nieces when their parents died. And his life's very difficult. He's alone and he needs a date. And then this handsome man who has no time for a family. He's busy, he's a workman. Very cliche. They go on a couple of dates. We'll see how it goes, but it's not gonna... this family life is not gonna stop the other guy from having a go of his business, his life, his work. He's not gonna give all that up for a family. So I'm very excited to see how that goes. Spin 3. Black 11. Okay. Black 11. a book that was gifted to me. Oh wow, that's so many. Okay, I'm very excited for this one. Okay, so for the book that was gifted to me, I kind of did a bit of a cheat. I didn't cheat. It fits within the category. The book was gifted to me, but I chose to do Cradle and All by James Patterson because I am doing this book as a buddy read with a book fiend named Mel, and we said we wanted to do it, and I was determined with the length of these books so far that I need to fit them in. I need to fit this one in somewhere because I could not add a book to the 8. I really couldn't. And all of these books are so long. So I decided to do this. I'm very excited about this. It's one of his earlier works, and I've heard his earlier works are not the best. But I've read one of his earlier works, that was god awful. So I'm very excited to see how he is with this. And it's about 2 women. The 2 teenagers, they're exact polar opposites, and from what I know, one of them is from Rhode Island, and one of them is from a remote Irish village. And they obviously live on pretty much opposite sides of the world. They're 2 teenagers, they are both pregnant. And let's read about this. And it says, a private detective named Anne Fitzgerald suddenly has a case of a lifetime. She quickly finds herself caught between the certainty of science and the possibility of a miracle, which could stop the terrible medical epidemics now sweeping the globe. Once a nun, and now a private detective, with a master's in psychology. Wow, nun got game. Anne's very belief in humanity is put to the ultimate test as she comes face to face with an unimaginable evil. Now, I don't know much about this book, but from what I do know, it's about one baby is like the baby of God and one is like the baby of Satan. These 2 women, both pregnant, one's got one, as far as I know. I don't really know much about the book. You will learn more about the book as I'm reading it, but it's a James Patterson. It's a buddy read. I don't know how we're going to do the buddy read. Hopefully I can get through this. It's a fairly long book. It is 455 pages. Not too long, but it's the longest one I have up to now. So we will see. Okay, this is my 4th spin, which means I am going to officially be halfway through. Not scary at all. Black 11 again. Okay, and for the 2nd time today, Black 11. 2nd time in a row. Excellent. Okay. Now, I am very excited for this. And it is, if it opens, random number generator. Okay, I'm going to have to do an explanation of what this is. So, to explain the random number generator to you, I have 7 areas for my books. I have the big bookshelf that's right there behind me. I have the bookshelf I usually film in front of. I have 3 boxes that are on the floor behind me for the sake of this video, that's not just where they live. And then I have 2 big piles of books in the cupboard because I have nowhere else to put them. So, the random number generator will be from 1 to 7, and it'll pick which of the areas I choose a book from. Then it will be between 1 and, I want to say 30. Oh wait, no. It will be between 1 and however many books are on that shelf. And that is how I'm going to choose the book. It's going to be done on a random number generator, which is going to be screenshot on my phone, and you will see it. So, let's see where we go. Okay, so between 1 and 7, because I have 7 different areas for books, and the random number generator says 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, the 4th one is one of the boxes on my floor, and it is quite a large box. So I don't know how many books are in here, but I know it holds quite a few, and so I am going to do an estimate between 1 and 40. And then whichever one it pops up with, I will be reading. So, oh Jesus, this is the big book area. Okay, 1 and... I'm going to say 1 and 30 because actually there are a lot of big... Oh, bugger. There are actually a lot of big books in here, so I don't actually think I'll fit 40 in. Okay. 14. So I'm going to pick out the 14th book at random. I'm going to pick out 14 books at random, and whichever one is number 14, that is the one I will choose. Okay, my random number generator picked probably the worst book. I really should have unhauled this book a while ago, but I didn't. I decided not to because it's a book that it belongs to my grandmother. I borrowed it ages ago, like years ago, to read, and I never bothered. And it is A Liverpool Lullaby by Anne Baker. I don't really know much about it. I just read it and I thought, oh, this seems a bit interesting. I'll have a go. But my nan likes books that are set more in the olden days when she was younger. I don't really find them interesting, so I'll see how this goes. Young and pretty Evie Hobson spent her days serving behind the counter of her father's chemist shop. Joseph Hobson is a bullying man, and Evie isn't the only one who lives in fear of her father's violent temper. Then one day, a beraggled woman enters the shop and dies on the premises. Evie is shocked to discover that the mysterious visitor was in fact her mother, whom she had been told died many years ago. Why had her father lied to her? What secret was he trying to keep? One thing's for sure, Evie can't take much more from him, and when she catches the eye of local lad Ned Collins, they plan to run away and begin a new life together. But even when she has escaped and has started a family with Ned, Evie has a long way to go before her happiness is secured. That actually doesn't sound like a bad plot, so I'm hoping it's done very well. I've not really read much of this. I know my nan loves these books, but I've never really read a book that my nan likes before, so I don't know what her tastes are like. But I'm quite excited about it. I'm excited just to start it to see whether it's a book I care about or not. If I don't like this, this is definitely getting DNF'd and I'm giving it back to my grandmother, because I can't be dealing. Looking at it, it's not a book I want to read. But I'm excited that I now have to. I'm excited to give it a go. So we will see how that goes. Spin 5. Red 36. Okay, next is Red 36. And this one is a short read. Yes! I'm so excited. I have a short read. Ah! Right. Now, my next one is a short read. And I was going to go for the classic. I was going to do a James Patterson nice short read. I would class a short read as a book under 200 pages. Because, honestly, I'm so glad I got this category. I needed one. But, yes, that is how I would class it, a book under 200 pages. And I thought, right, well, obvious, James Patterson. We always do a James Patterson. So I decided to do something different. And I don't know whether it's good or not. It's not a book that can be read, and well, it's a book that can be read. But I will be biased, because the book is Distance, New Recruit. And this is part of a series. This is the first book in the series, and it was written by me. So I'm very biased towards this book. I'm not stupid. I know that it's not perfect. I know that the writing style of this book is not great. I know that I have a long way to go with this book before it can be perfect. But personally, I love the story. It's one of the first things I ever came up with when I started writing. I do really love it. And I don't even think the fact that it was written by me biases me, because I read it and I'm like, what the hell did you do that? I'm very critical of my own work, but I love the story. I don't care about the writing style, because the story is that good to me. It holds a place in my heart. So I'm going to be brutally honest when it comes to my vlogs and my wrap up at the end of March, and I will tell you what I thought about it genuinely. But I do love the story, so that's the one I'm reading, and I'm really excited to read it. So, just to give you a bit of a basis, Distance, New Recruit, it is about a team of time-travelling teenagers. They are all part of this team because they are orphans, their parents have died, and they have nobody else in the world to care for them. So, the leader of the Distance team, Julian Brown, adopts these children and cares for them. And in this particular book, they are tasked with saving a woman who is quite a high up lawyer from an explosion that kills her on her wedding day. They also have a new recruit, as said, to deal with, and he basically learns how to adapt to this new world he's been thrown in, and that's pretty much it. They have a new recruit, a dead lawyer, they need to save her, and I love the book. I love the book, I love the story, so I'm excited to give this a go. Okay, spin 6. I hope this actually looks good from the camera's view, because it looks good from where I'm sat, I just can't tell. Oh, it's fell off. Well, that's a bit of a cheat. I'll do that one again. Spin 6, attempt 2. Red 34. Okay, so the next one to pop up was Red 34, but that is actually also... Where's the camera? Oh, the Red 5 cup that was earlier. So this is the new one that I've only just put in, so I'm very excited for this. As you can probably tell, I get excited a lot. Oh, okay, so over to you guys. Viewer's choice. Okay, viewer's choice. Right, guys, this is up to you. You decide my book. So please pop a comment down in the comments section and I will choose a book. I'm very scared. Please choose a short book. It doesn't have to be under 200 pages. It just, please no more than 3. Please. Because I already have so many. How am I meant to do this? Please don't forget that in between these, I also have Daddy Needs a Date. So please be kind, because I don't know if I'm going to do it, and I would very much love to do it, so make it a little easier for me. Oh god, this is killing me. Okay. Okay, spin 7. Black 6. Okay. I chose Black 6, and I chose a trope I hate. Oh. Okay. I have been questioning this one for a while. The trope I hate. And it's really difficult because I don't hate tropes. I really don't. There are tropes I don't like because they've not been done well. There are things that I think they're just really cliche, but I've never hated any of them with a passion and hated a book because of the trope. I always give it a chance to see whether it's done well, because there are so many tropes I don't like. There are so many that I think are really cliche, but they're done so well, so it doesn't matter. There are always books I think could be done better, but it was done well and I'm happy with it. So I questioned it for a while and I came up with Nicholas Sparks' The Best of Me. And the trope, because I just think it is cliche, it's cheesy and I'm not a fan, is the childhood sweethearts that were separated and now reunited. It's tacky. It is tacky. So that's what I've gone with. Again, it's not something that I dislike with a passion, it's just something that I think it's overdone, a bit boring. You know how it's going to go. Although, to be fair, I know where this book goes. I do know. Unless it's very different from the film, I know where this book goes. So, I'm hoping it's going to be done well. And my final spin for my March TBR. Drum roll. Red 18. Alright, and for the last one, I got Red 18. Where is it? Where's the number 18? I need to show you. Yes, there you go. Red 18. And this one is a book I've heard a lot about, but I've never read. Ooh. I have an idea. Okay, my final one, and that is a book I've heard a lot about, but never actually read. And I'm very excited because I've heard so much about it. I've not heard that many great things about it. However, the only people I've ever heard it from were people who were in school. and it's a book they had to read for English, and they hated it because they had to read it for English. But Lord of the Flies by William Golding. I'm very excited because I don't know much about it. I never read it in school. This is not the book I had to read. I had to read quite a few books in school for English, but this was not one of them. But everyone hates it because they had to read it in school. And I'm very excited to see how I find it without the pressure of you have to read this. So I'm very excited to see how it goes. And it's about a plane crash on a desert island and the group of survivors trying to survive, pretty much. That's pretty much as I know, and it takes quite of a dark turn. I know that much. But I am going into this with a bit of a blank slate. All I know about it is that it's about a group of survivors of a plane crash, and it gets very dark. Okay, so those are my 8 books. Here are 7 of them, and then don't forget, Daddy needs a date. Daddy needs a date. So, these are the 8 books I'm reading. I See You by Claire McIntosh, Cradle and All by James Patterson, A Liverpool Lullaby by Anne Baker, Distance, New Recruit by moi, under my pen name of C.D. Parkinson, The Best of Me by Nicholas Sparks, and then Lord of the Flies, William Golding, and then how can we ever forget Daddy Needs a Date by Sean Michael. So, these are the books I will be reading. Hopefully they fit into my category somewhere for my goals for the year. Obviously I have a James Patterson book. I decided to only do the one this month, apparently. I got my buddy reading, which is also the James Patterson, so that is great. And I am very excited to see how this goes. It seems like a very varied range. They're quite large books. I know they're all within the 300s and 400s, apart from the book I wrote, which is 100 pages, and these bottom 2, they're only in the 200s, but they're quite high 200s, I think. And, oh, Daddy Needs a Date is 200 pages. So, these are it. Also, please do not forget to comment. I need another book. It is a book that you are choosing, so you get to choose a book. Please pick a short one, but I'm always up for a challenge. So, give me a book that you love, give me a book you hate, give me a book that fits with a trope that you think I might not like or that I might love. Give me a book that is new to a series or it's not part of a genre that I've read very much. There are many options that you can do, so please give me a book because I need them. And that is all from me. Oh wait, P.S. I also will be part of my book club that I've mentioned. We did the Tattoos of Auschwitz and then we did the Goldfinch, and we're going to be doing another one of them books. However, based off how the book club's going, there's a good chance the meeting won't be until April, so chances are I'll have to add the book into the April TBR. But stay tuned because I am going to be giving a special announcement soon, and it is to do with the month of March. So stay tuned for that. Believe me, you will know when the announcement comes. Stay tuned. I will get working on these when the month of March starts. I still have books to finish for February. Thank you very much. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Also, just a final thing. I want to give you a bit of a heads up. Should I not like the books, I will DNF them as proven with Wuthering Heights from last month. And what I realised last month is that once I DNF'd Wuthering Heights, I picked up another book and that was not in my TBR. And I didn't like that. I didn't like choosing a book that I'd not said I was going to read. So what I'm going to do for the future is every time I have a TBR, I'm going to have a secondary TBR, and that is a list of books that I have in a pile somewhere, and then should I DNF a book, that will be my alternate pickup. There we go. So I just wanted to let you know, and the list of books are Pet Sematary by Stephen King, The London Eye Mystery, Siobhan Dowd, Dumb Witness, Agatha Christie, Shadow Forest, Matt Haig, Elevator Pitch, Linwood Barclay. There's no reason in particular why I chose these books. I just saw them and thought, I need a TBR pile. I picked 5 books that I either think I know I will like and I will get through, because these are books I really don't want to DNF. And I really want to read, actually. So, I'm very excited. But yes, I've always wanted to read the Linwood Barclay book. Shadow Forest I read when I was in school, and I loved it. I'm a big fan of Agatha Christie, even though I've only read one of her books, so I'm excited to read more from her. The Siobhan Dowd book, The London Eye Mystery, again, I read that when I was in school. Very big fan of YA, actually. And then Pet Sematary by Stephen King. Never read a Stephen King book. I started this year, and I very much want to continue. So, they are my alternate pile for my TBRs. And then once, if I ever DNF a book, and then pick a new one up, for example, I'll pick this one up, I will then add another book to the pile. So there will always be 5 on this pile. Thank you.